The night air over Constantinople is unnaturally quiet. It is May 28, 1453. Torches flicker along the massive stone walls that have protected this city for more than 1,000 years. Inside the streets, people move silently, knowing that this may be the last night their city will ever exist. Church bells echo through the darkness, calling the faithful into Hagia Sophia. There are no celebrations, no speeches of victory, only prayer. Outside the walls, stretching across the horizon, stands an army unlike any the world has seen before. Tens of thousands of Ottoman soldiers wait in disciplined silence. Their cannons, monsters of iron and stone, are aimed directly at the heart of the city. And in the center of this vast encampment stands a young man of 21, calm and unshaken. His name is Mehmed II. By sunrise, Constantinople will fall. And with it, an entire era of human history will end. This is not simply the story of a siege. It is the story of how the medieval world died, and how the modern world was born. To understand why Constantinople fell, we must go back to an empire that had already been dying for centuries. Constantinople was once the jewel of the Roman world. Founded in the year 330 by Emperor Constantine, it became the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire, later known as the Byzantine Empire. While Rome in the west collapsed under barbarian invasions, Constantinople endured. Its walls withstood Persians, Arabs, Bulgars, Crusaders, and plagues. For over 1,000 years, it stood as the most fortified city on earth. But by the 15th century, the empire that ruled from this city was barely an empire at all. Its territories had shrunk to little more than Constantinople itself and a few scattered lands. Its population was small. Its treasury was empty. Its armies were weak. Surrounded on all sides by the expanding Ottoman Turks, the city was living on borrowed time. Inside Constantinople ruled Emperor Constantine XI Palaiologos. He was courageous, deeply religious, and painfully realistic. He knew the city could not survive alone. He begged Western Europe for help, even offering to reunite the Eastern Orthodox Church with the Roman Catholic Church. But Europe was divided, exhausted, and unwilling to fight another war. Across the Bosphorus stood the Ottomans, young, powerful, and ambitious. And at their head stood Mehmed II. Mehmed had ascended the Ottoman throne at just 19. Many European leaders dismissed him as inexperienced. They underestimated him completely. Mehmed had been educated in languages, science, mathematics, and warfare. He studied history obsessively. He knew that Constantinople was the key to empire. Islamic prophecy spoke of a great leader who would conquer the city. Men believed that destiny had chosen him. But belief alone would not bring the walls down. Men prepared with ruthless precision. He hired a Hungarian engineer named Urban to build cannons larger than anything ever constructed. One of them, the Great Basilica, could fire stone balls weighing more than half a ton. Each shot shook the earth itself. These cannons marked a turning point in warfare. Walls that had stood for centuries were now vulnerable to gunpowder. In April 1453, the siege began. Day after day, Ottoman cannons pounded the Theodosian walls. Each impact sent shockwaves through the city. The Byzantines repaired the damage every night, knowing that one breach would mean the end. They were vastly outnumbered, perhaps 7,000 defenders against an army of over 80,000. At sea, the Byzantines believed they still had an advantage. A massive iron chain blocked the Golden Horn, preventing Ottoman ships from entering the harbor. But Mehmed responded with one of the boldest maneuvers in military history. He ordered his ships dragged over land, across greased logs, and launched directly into the harbor behind the city. When the defenders woke up, Ottoman ships were already inside. Hope began to fade. As weeks passed, hunger spread. Morale collapsed. Still, Emperor Constantine refused to flee. He knew there would be no mercy if the city fell. This was a fight to the death. On the night of May 28, Constantine XI removed his imperial regalia, He confessed his sins and prayed alongside common soldiers. According to chroniclers, he addressed them with quiet resolve, telling them he would die with his city. Inside Hagia Sophia, tens of thousands gathered. Catholics and Orthodox prayed together, united for the first time in centuries. Many believed it would be the last Christian service ever held in the great cathedral. At dawn, the final assault began. Wave after wave of Ottoman troops surged toward the walls. The fighting was brutal and relentless. Then, by chance or mistake, a small gate known as the Kirkoporta was left open. Ottoman soldiers slipped inside. The walls were breached. The city collapsed into chaos. Emperor Constantine XI charged into the fighting. He was never seen again. His body was never conclusively identified. The last Roman emperor vanished into legend. By midday, Ottoman flags flew over Constantinople. The Byzantine Empire, which had existed for more than 11 centuries, was gone. Mehmed II entered the city not as a destroyer, but as a conqueror who understood history. He ordered his soldiers to stop the worst of the looting. He walked into Hagia Sophia and commanded that it be converted into a mosque. Constantinople was renamed Istanbul, and it became the new capital of the Ottoman Empire. But the consequences of this event reached far beyond one city. With Constantinople under Ottoman control, Europe lost its main gateway to Asian trade. Ancient trade routes collapsed. Scholars fleeing the fallen city carried Greek manuscripts into Italy, texts that had been lost to Western Europe for centuries. These works would help ignite the Renaissance. Cut off from the East, European powers began searching for new routes. Within decades, explorers like Columbus and Vasco da Gama would sail into the unknown. The age of exploration had begun. The fall of Constantinople did not just end an empire. It ended the Middle Ages.
Remember this when you study Caesar.
It proved that walls could no longer protect civilizations. That technology reshapes power. And that history belongs to those who adapt. Mehmed II became known as the Conqueror. Constantine XI became a martyr of a dying world. One represented the future, the other the past. And so the question remains: was the fall of Constantinople a tragedy, or the painful birth of the modern world?